welcome. You are listening to the Convo, watching the Convo with your man, Nate Woods. I have one of the greatest people in my life, in my world, in my sphere, in my team, in my life, in my mentor group, right here with me. I got to tell you, this guy, I love him to pieces. I love him to the world and back, but more than just loving him so much, let me tell you why. He's mentored me in business in ways that I can't even imagine, to help me and my family get positioned. But let me read off this man's resume so you know who I'm talking about before I throw his name out to you. I got to give it out to you right now. Lieutenant Commander. This is my brother. This is my brother right here. Lieutenant Commander Brad Penley, a native of Hickory, North Carolina. Make some noise for Hickory real quick. Whoop, whoop. Graduated in 2007 from the United States Naval Academy with a bachelor's degree in oceanography and a member of the varsity swim team. After being selected as an explosive ordnance disposal officer, that's EOD for those of you that don't understand that, he completed the rigorous training pipeline of Naval Dive School, EOD School, airborne training, and tactical training. Goodness gracious, man. And parachute free-falling training. It keeps going. He is a graduate of the Special Operation Low Intensity Conflict Program and Financial Management Program at the Naval Postgrad School. So my man does not only know how to fight, he is an intellect. He is somewhat of a scholar. This dude is the real deal. I'm not finished, Brad. You have to still be in silence real quick. I got to keep going. In December 2018, as an executive officer of Naval Dive and Salvage Training School, he was appointed the executive officer of Naval Dive and Salvage Training Center in Panama, Florida. And he has more awards than I could even name here. It's ridiculous. I want to introduce to you all here at the Convo my brother, my friend, and mentor, Mr. or Lieutenant Commander Brad Penley.
Hey,
Welcome,
Nate. Thanks, man. That's a crazy invite. I'm shortening it now to multifamily commercial real estate investor, missionary supporter, and then EOD officer at the end, and that just keeps it. That keeps it. Hopefully, my priorities in line, and getting everything in spec for all the things that you and I both have going on.
Yeah, man. So look, let's jump right into this thing. I don't want to waste any time. I don't want to delay anything. So I listed out a whole lot because you've accomplished a lot. Let's not get it twisted, man. You've done a lot in your life, more than most people would ever get a chance to experience. And how do you go from saying, I'm saying all of this and giving you these accolades and congratulatory remarks, how do you say and put that on the back end? How did you get to this point to where you said, I'm an investor, do mission work, philanthropy, and put that on the back? How did that mindset happen?
The mindset took a while. It was definitely a journey to get there. So many times I was fighting up this ladder of just be the best wherever I was. Be the best while I was in high school, be the best on the swim team, be the best at the Naval Academy, be the best at EOD. And then it was all a lot of me. And no matter what level of accolade I got to or high level of achievement, I still wasn't fulfilled. And in the same thing in the business world, I was building up my real estate portfolio, focusing on multifamily properties and now commercial multifamily properties. And it all seemed kind of like an empty shell. Very empty. On the outside, it looked great. My Instagram's popping. My Facebook looks awesome. My LinkedIn, I got crazy connections. But on the inside, I was feeling like a pretty empty shell. And then I had to have a mindset shift. And, some people say, and you hear some pastors say, and some other mentors like, hey, listen to the soft voice of God. Listen to the soft word. Like, God doesn't say soft words to me. God yells at me. And so last year, I broke both my knees, tore both ACLs in a jiu-jitsu accident, and then further injured it skydiving. And it was during that point that, I realized I need to fix some stuff. I need to not only heal my body, but heal my mind, heal my spirit, heal my emotions. And there was a mind shift there. And in that mind shift, it went from how much money can I make to how much money can I give away? How
Ooh.
many good things can I do to how many good things can I help others do? And once I started thinking that way, moving that way, and most importantly, acting that way, and then lastly, putting my money that way,
Yeah.
that's really where business started taking off. Network exploded. The military side as well just keeps exploding and kind of pushing me forward and promoting me on. So it was a really big mind shift into like, how do I just become a servant in everything I do, um, from being a good neighbor, to being a good officer, to being a good teammate, a good investment partner, a good investment advisor to friends, family, and then a larger network. And really, it's all about how can I serve you? How can I help you become better? And in that, we all rise together. And that's just been the biggest.
Wow.
That's been the biggest accolade, I would say, is when somebody says, "Hey, thanks for that."
Wow, that's
That's more than any ribbon I could ever get. It's like, "Hey, thanks for showing me that," or "Thanks for spending that extra time with me," or "Thanks for that mentor session."
mm, that's heavy, man. So let's talk about that because you're taking the conversation there. So I'm gonna keep rolling with you, man. So talk to me about how you get this mindset, this mindset, the shift. But before the shift comes, business is not new to you. Real estate is not new to you. So let's backtrack a little bit. How did you get established into multifamily? So before that, let's talk about just how, take us through the journey. How did you
So it started off when I was at my very first command, my very first EOD command in San Diego, California, and I was out playing a game of ultimate football with the whole unit that was out there. And I'm brand new guy, just out of training. I'm the young dude on the field. I'm going up for this catch. I catch this ball, and the CO at the time is this massive man, probably 6'3", 6'4", 250, 260, just creams me. Bah! I like fly sideways. I'm laying on the ground, and I'm still like writhing. He picks his hand down and pulls me up, and I'm still kind of shaking and blurry eyed. He said, "Brad, I want you to remember two things. One, never underestimate an old man, and two, buy property everywhere you go." Of course, I didn't listen to him, and I bought a sailboat. And I lived on a sailboat for a while,
Yes, you did.
but then I moved to another place, bought my first home, had to move again, and then started picking up these multi-unit properties because I'd heard that you could live in one unit, rent out the other unit, and that other unit pays for your entire mortgage.
Absolutely.
And I did that the first time I did that. The first time I paid the mortgage check, and it wasn't out of my pocket, that like a light bulb went off in my head. And so I'd say for about 7 years now, I haven't paid my own mortgage, which is great. I've been using the philosophies of investing to have renters pay my mortgage, and then what I would be paying towards a mortgage, I just save up for another property and then invest it that way. So
That's
it
good.
built into buying multi-family properties. And then I got linked up with mentors, and then pulled into a mastermind group. And inside this mastermind group were just some savage business individuals that had already bought and sold multiple companies, built Inc. 500 companies, have bought and sold multiple franchises,
Yeah.
VPs of companies. And all these people were already successful, but they wanted to do something bigger. And what really joined us is all of them wanted to make some kind of impact outside of themselves. And and most everybody knows, and if you watch sports, you watch any Sunday football team, it's not just Drew Brees or Tom Brady out there by themselves. It's that team. And once I found out the key to scaling on any level is having a team around you and building a team. So we had a team of these, what I call superstar, A squad, whatever you want to call it.
The Avengers have a form.
Came together, and now we go out and buy 100+ unit apartment buildings. We have a pool of savvy investors, over 1,000 investors now, that we have in our network. right now we have a fantastic problem of having too much money and not enough assets on the market.
It's a great problem to
Which
have.
is great. It's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
So we're looking to rectify that by the end of the year. But what drives that and what fuels the energy behind that is that this company was built so that we can make an impact. And all the members on the team, they were individually philanthropists or individually missionaries or individually wanting to make impacts in their community. And instead of just doing it by themselves, you can do much more and make a much larger impact with another group of people. And then we pull in investors, and they have time, or they have money, but they don't necessarily have the time, or they have money and they don't necessarily have the resources, or they have money and they don't have the knowledge. So we bring them in, utilize their money to make an impact through commercial real estate, and then through that, we're able to give into impact funds that are endowments that are going to be paying into perpetuity, paying the charities that we want to support. And this all came about from you. You were going to Taiwan a year or two ago, and then you're trying to raise $6,000, $6,000, right? And that was stressful. And that was just for you and your family to go for like a couple of days to go make an impact in Taiwan. And then I talked to another missionary, and he was working in Togo, West Africa. And this place, talk about scariest place on earth. It's the longest lasting family dictatorship under North Korea. The major religions there are witchcraft, voodoo. They still do human sacrifices. They mutilate children to look like vipers, and it's a pretty crazy environment. And I'm like, man, what is the hardest part about that? He was like, fundraising. And I was like, what?
That's what
you're telling me. I was like, so between you, Nate, and then this other guy, Dallas, to get missionaries to actually go out, and all these people, their whole heart is to serve others. Their whole heart is to minister to others, help hurting people, and to deliver a good message. And the hardest part is funds. And I'm like, well, I know how to fix that.
That's what we do.
And so commercial real estate became the mechanism to be able to fund these deals. And then I just kind of mix in some of the military stuff, which is, basically leading in unknown environments. Mitigating risk is a lot of my job in explosive ordnance disposal. And that just kind of flows over into how do I mitigate investor risk to the lowest level possible. And Warren Buffett said there's 2 rules of investing. 1, never lose money. 2, never lose money. And that's all about risk mitigation. So it's kind of the same thing as EOD. You don't want anybody to get hurt. And then 2, you don't want anybody to get hurt. So you're trying to mitigate all potential hazards as much as possible. And in investing, that's for us to be able to get a deal that provides safe and steady cash flow to our investors, gets them to realize appreciation of the asset, the principal pay down, like in where I told you I wasn't paying my mortgage for 7 years. Like all these tenants paying the mortgage.
That's a big deal because I'm sorry, my bad, bro.
You're good.
There's a lot of people that will lose their mind if they realize, dog, I didn't have to go buy that $1,600 that $600,000 home for just me. I could have made room for somebody else to pay it off. I talked to someone the other day and they said that, like, I hate that I went and bought this house in Florida. I paid $485,000 for this house, and I'm the only one paying it off. I said, well, yeah, that's a tough one. That's tough.
A lot of people help you. People tend to, try and keep up with the Joneses, or they buy too much house, and most people realize it. And then same thing with a lot of these kind of high net worth investors. They got the big house, they got the nice car, they got the boat, and then wait a minute, I don't feel satisfied, or I don't feel happy. So there's a way to kind of make that easier on you personally by kind of spread loading your investment across multiple properties, and then finding a way to give back through the financial gains that you've got.
That's crazy, man. And so through this, let's go back to the perpetuity. A lot of my listeners, they're going to say like, man, what's that perpetuity word he using? So
That means
what's that perpetuity?
giving. Perpetuity means into infinity. So perpetuity is a financial term, basically, that means you'll get paid forever.
Nonstop.
So
Yep.
what we do is inside of a real estate deal, the money that we make, we carve out a portion of that, put it into the fund. And then that fund spits off interest. And that interest is what pays the charity. And as long as that money's in that fund, it's accruing interest. It's going to spit off funds into infinity. And then we just keep building that massive fund, and more spills off. So if you have,
you never touch the fund. You never touch the fund.
Never touch it. It's just the interest goes off the pay. So if you put 10 million into one of these impact funds, and it spits off 6%, that's $600,000. Let's say a year that goes to a charity that can help sustain them for a long time. So I don't have enough time to build charities right now. I hope to do that in the near future to give back to things that are important to me. But there's already people out there that are doing that, and I have a big rule of like, let professionals go do professional stuff. You know, regular Army guys see a bomb and they're like, that ain't me. I know there's a professional to go do that, right? And same thing on the investment side. Like, if you're a doctor, you're probably a really smart dude, right? You can do heart surgery, you know, you can replace that hip, you know, you could do some crazy stuff. But when it comes to finances, like, you might not be the expert. So let experts do what they do, especially on real estate investing. There's a lot of info that goes into it, a lot of background work that goes into it to make it legal, to make it safe, to make it fun, actually. And to provide those returns. So
the reality is it's hard to scale when you're doing everything.
Oh, it's impossible. That's why, you know, we have a team of 8, and through that 8 kind of cover all the bases. And it's really, really hard to scale. And you very rarely see any successful individual that's ever done it by themselves. True. Like LeBron James is a great player, but he's not making any national championships by himself.
Not by himself.
Either president that's going up, you know, for an election, they have teams of people, because that's the only way you can scale. If their job is to raise money, basically the same as our investor. So you can't do it by yourself. And always my words of wisdom are build a team, build a team, build a team.
You're following that Warren Buffett model, aren't you? Just repeat the same thing twice, 3 times over. Tell me this, man, because I'm a respecter of time. I'm a respecter of just the wealth of wisdom you have. So if I'm an investor and I'm watching this, I'm like, yo, I was about to buy a boat, but Brad just said I should probably let somebody pay off this duplex, and then I can set something up off of the duplex to purchase another one, maybe get 3 of these duplexes, putting some money in, and I can set up something in perpetuity that can pay off my boat. How do I go about doing this? Do I reach out to you? Do I look you up on LinkedIn? How do I get connected?
Yeah, and I got connected when I first got started of watching podcasts just like this. And then a guy would put out his number, I'd write it down, and I'd call that number. And I was like, dude, because everybody's got a different situation. Everybody's got a unique situation. My one piece of advice is go passive as soon as possible. You don't want to create another job for yourself. So you want that passive cash flow coming as soon as possible. And it's different per investor. But I can always be contacted on my phone via text message is the easiest way, and that's 828-446-4813. So go run down,
just put
grab
his
something.
Phone number out there. He just put his phone number out.
828-446-4813. I can be found on email at brad@thegrowthview.com, and that's TheGrowthVue.com. LinkedIn, Brad Penley. Facebook, Brad Penley. Instagram, brad.penley. And that's spelled Penley. So I try to respond to all those. I have savvy investors that are 22 that use Instagram. I have super sophisticated investors that are 65 and don't know how to do text messaging. So anyway, in between, I'm willing to help out everybody. Everybody's got their own path, and whether it's going from, hey, I want to invest in my first single family home. Like, how do I do that? Hey, I want to move. I have a single family home. It's a headache. How do I get into multifamily? I can help you do that. And now you're like, man, I got all these multifamilies and it's still a headache. How do I get into passive income? I can definitely help you do that. And again, that's the end state. So if I can help you get there fast or first, please let me help you get there. All it does is it makes it a lot of fun for me. It builds our team, which only makes it more fun for us.
Exciting, man.
And makes it more exciting for you. Build your network as well. You get to be around a bunch of other savvy investors that are doing the same thing. And another Warren Buffett is 90% of millionaires own real estate. 100% of billionaires own real estate.
100%.
So if you want to, I don't like creating new stuff. I'm not that smart. I'm not an inventor. But I follow what the smart people do. And almost all of them have their hand in real estate, and the most that are making the most money have it passively.
Man, it's crazy because you brought up something. You said it's smart to start off. I know we just got your contact info. Some people be like, oh, they're about to wrap up. Nope. It's so important to think this through, though. Some people are like, I want to get in it. But you said it's if you can go passive right away, go passive. Help explain the difference between a passive and an active investor. What does that look like in practical terms? Like, just what is a passive investor versus an active investor?
An active investor, you are playing an active role. You're managing the property. You're doing the maintenance on the property. You're finding new properties. You're selling the property. In passive investing, you're only providing money to an active investor and letting them go do the work. And they go do the work because they're the professionals in doing it, and then they give you a return. It's really not a whole lot different than giving your money to a wealth advisor or to a mutual fund advisor, except you make higher returns in real estate and you have lower volatility in real estate than given to one of those wealth managers that are handing over stocks. Because we've all seen the stock market recently this year. Pandemic goes on, the stock market goes down. Elections go on, stock markets go crazy. If you have Tesla and Elon Musk goes on Joe Rogan's podcast and smokes a fat doobie, 50% of that stock goes down, right? I don't like that. That's too much volatility for me. Crazy. So in commercial real estate, it's one of the safest, most stable platforms for investing. And you have a lot of long-term growth that goes with it. So usually higher returns than the stock market and lower volatility than the bonds. It's just people don't really get a good education on it. They don't know about it. They don't know how to contact about it. It is hard to get into because it's called a private security. So you have to know somebody personally in this business. And then there's different kind of passive deals, but people that have high net worth individuals usually have $1 million net worth, not including their primary home, or make $200,000 a year. They can become what's called an accredited investor, and they can get into bigger deals. And then still other people below that called sophisticated investors. They have some kind of investment mindset. They've maybe done investment homes, or they have an investment portfolio. They can get into some smaller deals.
Man, it's crazy to think that this is such an exclusive circle to get in. And the reality of the matter is, it is. However, Brad just put his phone number out there. As exclusive as it is, Brad just put his information out there. Boop, 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 boop. You're going to see it on the screen once it comes up. Like, he just put his info out there because he has the mindset to serve other people. Not just him, the entire group has a mindset to serve others. And we want to make an impact. It's not called an impact fund by accident. It's called that on purpose. And so we want to make an impact in everyone's life. And so the idea is, if this is new to you, let us help you get connected so that you can start living this life out. And what it does is, you talk about freedom. you haven't experienced freedom until you're able to help someone else experience some real freedom. When
And
you
let me
help,
drop this on you, Nate.
go
Like,
ahead.
there's a saying that show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you who you are.
Yeah,
So if you want to be a millionaire real estate investor that's making impacts, that's giving to charities, that's doing awesome things, find people that are doing that. Get them in your circle. You have 5 close ones of those. You're all mind melding. That's where you will be. You will be there. Even if it's not right now, start connecting to people like Nate. Start connecting to people like me. Start connecting to thegrowthview.com and just get in touch. And I can promise you I can help you get from where you're at to where you want to be.
And the thing is, it's like, it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter what you look like. None of that. This is all about how can we help serve you. And at the end of the day, we want to serve you. Like, developing others through service is an opportunity to serve you. And believe it or not, this book wouldn't have even gotten published. I remember I called Brad when I was frantic, panicking. I said, "Hey, bro, I'm nervous about this. This is crazy. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling kind of sick to my stomach. This is crazy." And he said, "Man, if you don't put that book out there, like, get the book out. Put the book out. People need to hear what you have to say." I got to tell you, I brag on him a lot. That's why he's looking like that. Like, I brag on him a lot because of who he is to me. And you got to understand, if you trust me and you listen to what I say, please understand what I'm telling you. I'm not bringing anyone on the show that's okie doke. He's through and through. Who he is right now is who he is through and through, authentic. But not just him, thegrowthview.com. You'll find a slew of us that are right there building and curating new ideas and ways to serve other people. And we're passionate about it. And we really believe the vehicle by which we can serve people the best is through multifamily. You have anything
100%.
else to say on that, bro?
Just please reach out. If you're listening to this just once, just have one convo, and it can start a change in your life and can build new relationships. It can mend broken stuff. So we're here for you financially. We're here for you spiritually, emotionally, as well, mentally, and, build your own group around you of people that support you like that. And Nate does that for me. I do that for him. We do it for other teammates. We do it for other family members. And when you get inside of a group like that, you just feel that you have a support network. People that can help you through any problem. And financial is just the mechanism of which we initiate conversation, the way we help. Because most everybody is like, I could use help in this area. And, you just have to be vulnerable to that. Call up and say, hey, here's what I got. Here's where I need help at. And somebody like Nate or I can help you on your path. And we're more than happy to do that. And we're more than happy to bring you in on our team.
So, like, I'm going to close with this. So what Brad does in what he does in the Navy is he does EODs. So EOD, explosive officer, EOD, explosive ordnance disposal officer. Did I say it right?
Right.
That stuff right there, boy. But so I remember reading an article on LinkedIn that was in the title of the article is this hard? Brad and the team that he works with, they dismantle bombs. They know bombs inside and out. And someone asked him, is real estate hard when he he works with bombs? And the reality of the matter is we're all experts in our own area. We've studied and learned, and we continue to learn in this real estate sphere or this real estate vein. So we are and even continue to evolve to become subject matter experts in this particular area. Is it hard? Nope. You just need the right people around you to help you get it done. You can find that at thegrowthview.com. Hey.
Outstanding.
Thank you so much for joining the convo with my man, Brad Penley. Hey, I love you, man. Appreciate you. Looking to do great things with you. Any last words before we shut down?
Call me. 828-446-4813. And thank you, everybody that's listening.
Goodbye, Uncle Brad.
And goodbye, Uncle Brad.
Bye, y'all.
Oh, man.